Shalom friends, Rabbi Akiva here with Vegan Rabbi and Jewish Vegan Life, and this week's Torah portion is Lech Lecha, the first words that God spoke to Avram when he was 75 years old, telling him to go, to leave his home, to go on a journey, a physical and spiritual journey, and head to a new land, that land being the land of Israel. And there's many different understandings and levels of interpretation of these words, what they mean, but one idea that I want to share with you is this idea of leaving your comfort zone, leaving the things that are familiar with you. Right? God told Avram to leave his land, to leave his birthplace, to leave his family's house. All those things that Avram knew his whole life, all those things that had shaped him, formed him, influenced him, basically helped him to become who he was. And God was telling Avram, now it's time for a change. Now it's time for a new chapter. I want you to leave those things behind. I want you to leave the familiar, leave the comfortable, leave all those things that had influenced you, because now is a new chapter, a new time for you to bring out new parts of yourself. Right? And I think about this, and I think about it in terms of how we eat. Right? I know I grew up eating all kinds of things that I don't eat today. I eat lots and lots of animals, unfortunately, and lots of unhealthy food. And I got to a point in my life when I was 18 years old, and I realized, and I learned more about the impact of my food choices on the world, on the animals, on the environment, on my health. Right? And I realized all the horrible suffering that was taking place behind the scenes in the meat and dairy and egg industries. And I said, I couldn't. I said to myself, I can't do it anymore. I have to make a change. I have to leave all those familiar foods behind, all those comfort foods, all those things that I grew up with. Right? And make a change. If I really want to become myself, if I really want to be true to myself, if I really want to live to my values, my ideals, then the time has come to make a change. It might not be easy, it might not be comfortable, right? But if I really want to become myself and be the highest level of myself, I strive to become the highest level of myself, strive to become the best version of myself, so I need to be okay with, and I need to be ready to shake off the comfortable, to shake off the familiar, right? And do something new. And that's exactly what God was telling Avraham, right? In this week's Torah portion with the words Lech Lecha. Go on a journey. Start a new chapter, right? And the words Lech Lecha actually mean become yourself, right? Go to yourself. Lech Lecha, go to yourself. Which means as he goes on this new journey, as he leaves the familiar and the comfortable behind, he's going to become more of his true self. A beautiful, powerful teaching for all of us, inspiring us to live our lives, and specifically to make food choices that are really in line with the values of our tradition, the ideals of our tradition, the mission and vision of our tradition. All the best, my friends, and Shabbat Shalom.